About 5 minutes before I clicked the record button, I was thinking, what should I talk about this time? What should I do a video about? And that is what I learned being in my 30s now compared to being in your 20s. If you're a man and you're in your 20s, once you get in your 30s, you will you will start to become more wiser. You'll start to become more wiser, and you will start to see things for what it is. You really do. Right now, I just been staying to myself, focused on myself, just doing what makes me happy. That's one thing you'll learn as soon as you turn 30, or as soon as you hit your early 30s, sometimes even in your late 20s, is that you become more wiser. You learn to see things for what it is. That's for sure. Oh, by the way, I just took my creatine. I just got back from the gym not too long ago. And I also got college football 27. But back to the topic. Like I was saying, you become more wiser once you get in your 30s and everything. And also what I learned was to keep your emotions in check, you just gotta keep your emotions in check. Um, I learned to be humble. I have to humble myself, and I learned to count my blessings. That's the most important thing for any person, especially a man when they get in their 30s, is definitely count your blessings, and definitely do not take life for granted, because life is short. Life is very short. And you just got to do what makes you happy. And also, speaking of that, I just learned to be myself, be who I am, and I stay to myself. You know, I just learned to just be alone. I know everybody probably can't relate to this, but I'm a loner. I'm a loner. Um, I'm more at peace when I'm alone. I get things more done when I am alone. Peace and solitude is very important in a man's life as he gets in his 30s, and even in his 40s, and so on and so forth. Um, Peace and solitude is very important for any man. And nowadays, in these modern times that we're living in, like, this world is so corrupt, things are so bad. As for the dating scene and everything, a lot more men, regardless of what your ethnicity is, um, a lot more men are choosing their peace, and a lot of men have waken up. A lot of men has indeed waken up, and you just gotta do what you love to do, regardless of what it is. If you like to go to the gym and lift weights, go to the gym and lift weights. If you like to play video games, play video games, because that's what I like to do. I like to go to the gym, lift weights. I like to play video games. Um, and I just like to just stay home. I feel so safe when I'm home. I don't go out that much or anything. I don't go out that much. I just stay home, play my PS5, and just enjoying my life. A lot of people think that is a boring life to live. Hey, I'd rather live a boring life. I'd rather live a boring life than to live a toxic a toxic life, where I'm out and about, looking for trouble. I don't want that type of life. I like the peaceful life. I like to be in solitude. You get what I mean? The thing about me is I am not a toxic person at all. And that's the problem with the society is people glorify toxicity. And I'm not like that, you know. I'm the exact opposite. I like peace and quiet. That's what I like. And plus, I'm an introvert too. I'm an introvert as well. But that's what I learned in my 30s. Those of you guys who are introvert, you can relate to what I'm saying in this video. And I just learned to be more humble. I learned to count my blessings, and just do what makes you happy. And you gotta take care of yourself. You know, you gotta take care of your health. Um, and it's also kind of hard to, especially with inflation going on right now. It's really hard to save money because everything is expensive. Like the cost of living in general it's just expensive, and I don't see it getting any better. You know, so it's really kind of hard to save money. I know I'm not alone in that, and that as for that part, I know I'm not alone. It's really hard to save money, but you just gotta be, you gotta learn to be thankful for what you do have and for what you don't have. We all want things in life. I want a lot of things. We all want things, but you gotta be thankful and grateful for what you do have. You know, and I hope, you know, I just hope things get better, you know. But I just pray to God every day. I be humble. I count my blessings. I stay to myself, and that's another thing that I learned being in my 30s is to be quiet. Yeah, that's one thing I learned in my 30s is to be quiet. Don't say much. Stay to yourself, and talk less. I feel like the more quiet you are, the less problems you'll have. That's one thing that I learned being in my early 30s now is the um the less I talk, the less I say, just the better off I am and the more peace that I will have. You get what I mean? So that's one thing that I try to do. I try to not say much. I try to be quiet. I try to stay to myself when I'm out and about or if I'm at work or something like that. And and I encourage you guys, whoever's viewing this, just to do the same. Just don't talk much. You don't owe nobody no explanation. You don't have to talk to nobody. You don't have to please anybody. You know, the only person you should be pleasing is God and yourself. And that's the truth. But I just learned not to say much. I just learned to observe and always listen. Always listen to what people say, and learn to read people as well. Learn to read people's body language and everything, and you'll go a long way in life. And if you can do that, then you're a chosen one. You are for sure a chosen one. And it's a lonely road for people who are chosen ones because a lot of people aren't chosen ones. You know, a lot of people are NPCs, a lot of people are followers, a lot of people they don't think for themselves or any of that stuff. So it's really important to read, you know, do your research if you don't know something. Um, just always try to gain. Here's another thing that I learned as well. Always try to learn and gain as much knowledge as possible. And you do that at your own pace. You do that at your own pace. Um, I just try to stay focused and always focus. Always stay focused and be disciplined. That's another thing. What I learned, the fact that I'm in my 30s now, is you have to be disciplined, and you have to be consistent, and you don't have to open up your mouth and just be a chatterbox to everyone. Just don't say much, talk less. Listen more, talk less. That's one thing that I learned, is to listen more and talk less. And you'll go a long way. It'll probably intimidate the NPCs, but who cares what they think? That's another thing. And I struggle with this, I'll admit. I still struggle with this a little bit, is worrying about what other people think. That's one thing I need to work on as well about myself, is to stop worrying about what other people think. That's for sure. You just gotta stay focused. You just gotta stay focused. You just gotta stay focused and stay disciplined. Always stay disciplined and be consistent. Wherever that you like to do, just be consistent. And I know consistency goes a long way. That's what I learned about, being in my 30s, is to just stay consistent, stay disciplined. And I'm going to be more consistent, doing these videos, because it seems like people are viewing it. And whoever views it. But I just really hope somebody out there can learn from me, even though I'm just a guy who's just talking in front of a camera. But just take it from me. I'll be 32 years old in a couple weeks. Yeah, a couple more weeks. I'll be 32 years old. That's one thing I learned about being in my 30s, is you just gotta humble yourself. And here's the thing about my age: I don't even feel like I'm in my 30s. I still feel like I'm in my 20s, honestly. But that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. And just exercise. You gotta take care of your health. It's really important that you take care of your health, and drink water. Definitely drink water. Stay away from the sugary drinks. I don't drink sugary drinks. It's either gonna be a sugar-free drink or water, and I mostly drink water. That's what I mostly do. I mostly drink water. So it's important. It's important that you hydrate yourself as well. It's important that you hydrate yourself, and just focus on the good things. Focus on the positive and not the negative. There's a lot of negativity out there in this world, and not that much positivity. If you can be a positive person, I feel that you will get positive results, or positive things will happen in your life. It will. I feel like positive things are happening in my life already. Just be humbled. When I was in my 20s, I made a lot of mistakes. Those of you who do know me and know my history, I used to always worry about the things that wasn't important at the time. But I was in my 20s. I was very naive. I was very immature, but hey, it's in the past now. It's in the past now. I was very naive. I was very immature. I was worried about things that wasn't important, as for having a girlfriend, and girls not liking me, and all that bullshit. But other than that, everything that I wanted to experience, I already got to experience. I got all of that stuff out of my system. I got it all out of my system. But I'm just focused on other stuff now. I just want to grow as a man, and I want to grow as a person. I just really feel like what I learned being in my 30s is you got to do something different. You can't be doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and expecting something different. That's what you call the definition of insanity. Definitely to the fullest. That is the definition of insanity. But slowly, I'm getting things in order. I'm focusing on, I'm focusing on putting on some serious muscle mass. That's what I'm focused on now. I'm taking my creatine. I'm trying to eat the right foods so I can get the results that I want. But it doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take at least a few years to get to have the body that I really really want, because I want to be like a very lean, muscular type of guy. You know what I mean? A little bulky but more lean. But I gotta be consistent. That's what I've been doing, and I give myself credit. I have been consistent on going to the gym since the beginning of July, and we're almost in September now. So once the first week of September hits, around my birthday week, um, it'll be 2 months of me just going to the gym consistently, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy that I've made progress in that area. You know, um, that's one thing. That's one thing that I learned about being in my 30s is you got to be consistent. You got to make some changes. If you want some serious change, if there's some things that you don't like about yourself, do something to change it. Those of you guys who know who I am, I really didn't like how skinny I was. I wanted to be more muscular. I do it because I want to look good. I like to look good, smell good, and feel good. I don't do it to attract women. I do not go to the gym and lift weights to attract women. That's a wrong reason. I do it because I want to look good. I want to be healthy. I want to be muscular, and I want to be in shape. I do it for me. And if you want to make a change, if there's something that you don't like about yourself and you want to make a serious change, just do something. Do something about it. It's all on you. And my actions speak for itself. If you follow me on IG, my actions speak for itself. I've been in the gym. I've been putting in work. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. That's one thing that I learned about being in my 30s. If you want something in life, you have to put in the work. And also, for any man who's in his 30s, that's a man's prime in his life. For any man who's in his 30s, as soon as a man turns 30, he's in his prime. 20 is where you make mistakes. 20s for a man is when he makes mistakes. He's naive to a lot of stuff, and he learns from it. As soon as a man gets in his 30s, he's putting in work and he's doing things. He's doing things to change for the better. And it's different for a woman. I can't speak for a woman, but for a man, when a man's in his 20s, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to learn from it. He's going to be naive. He's going to do dumb stuff. He's going to do things that he regrets. But it is what it is. You have to suck it up and say it is what it is. You have to just grow out of it, and you got to learn from it. As soon as a man turns 30, he's in his prime. Now that I'm 32 years old, I'm in my prime for sure. And I feel good. I feel great. But but those are the things that I've learned, that I'm in my 30s now. Those things I learned about the fact I'm in my 30s now is I'm in my prime now, and you know, I want to change for the better. I seriously, genuinely want to change for the better, and you learn to see things for what it is. You'll learn who your real friends are, and you will learn to see what's fake and what's real, what's organic, what's not organic. You know, and always go off of actions. Never go off of what people say. Always go off of their actions. You know, um, and just stay focused. But other than that, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. Those are the things that I could think of off the top of my head. What I learned about being in my 30s now. Um, but that's pretty much it. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I greatly appreciate it. Click on that bell for all notifications. Every time that I upload anything up here on my channel, you will be notified of it. And also, feel free to follow me on IG. Same exact username here on YouTube. Kentrey the King. That's who I am, because I am a king. But so yeah, just follow me on IG if you haven't already. I'm gonna go. I'm about to download College Football 27, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my night. Just got back from the gym. I had a nice dinner. Took my creatine. So I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my night. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys at the top.